Professional wrestling is the one true sport. Other sports have their share of intense, dramatic moments, but nothing can compare with professional wrestling. Welcome to Wrestling History X, where three friends come together to talk about the stories behind the matches. I'm Matt.
And I'm a box of rocks.
Welcome to episode 368, King of the Ring 1999.
Reliving the War.
What war?
2?
Korean?
That's exactly what I was about to say. Which I know nothing about outside of that's where MASH takes place.
Yeah. I think that's what most people know about the Korean War.
Yeah. And I think that I haven't got to my world history phase of age yet. I'll get there at some point. I'm surprised you haven't got there. I'm not calling you old. You're just a little older than me.
Thanks,
just a little bit older than me. That's all.
I do like my MASH, though.
I think I would love MASH, but as a kid, that song comes on and I'm just like, nope. I'm more interested in Bewitched or All in the Family or whatever. I always liked the song. The song kind of made me sad though, as a kid.
I think it's one of the shows that when I do rewatch that I will let the theme song go ahead and play.
With Cheers, I do it. With Twin Peaks, I do it, even though it's 2.5 minutes for Twin Peaks. There's a few where I'm like, just let that song play. I like the MASH movie. I've seen the movie.
MASH movie is very good.
But yeah, I think that's a sitcom that I'll revisit at some point and probably love. But we're not talking about MASH.
But this was the 7th annual King of the Ring pay-per-view featuring the 13th tournament produced by WWF. It would take place on June 27th, 1999 from the Greensboro Coliseum complex in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Flair country.
With an attendance of 20,108 and a buy rate of 406,000 people.
I mean, can I get a goddamn?
Goddamn.
Because if you were listening last week, if you didn't skip all of our preamble bullshit, I believe it was 185,000 for WCW's Great American Bash, as far as their buy rate. I think there was 11,000 people at their show. Yeah.
I mean, it's literally twice the amount of people in both ends.
Yeah. Murder was the case.
But something that would happen right around the same time as the King of the Ring tournament, Big Daddy would hit theaters the same weekend.
This is the last of the canonical Sandler production films, I feel like, of the 90s. Mm-hmm. And the last one that I saw in the theater, maybe the last one that I saw outside of, I did watch Happy Gilmore 2. But that's way 20 years after this, more than that. But I remembered really liking this. I saw it in the theater, and just last week, I probably say it 6 times a year, 50 packets of ketchup, because it's very funny and burnt into my mind. Mm-hmm. What do you want for lunch, Frankenstein? 50 packets of ketchup. It's just funny. This movie's sweet. It is more along the lines of Wedding Singer than your Waterboys or Happy Gilmores or Billy Madison's. This is a family, one for the whole family, but it's good.
Yeah, it doesn't stray too far from the Sandler comedy. It
just grounds him instead of basically in all of the wacky ones, he's playing somebody with a mental deficiency or a dickhead or a combination of the two. But in Wedding Singer, he's more of a believable human, and in Big Daddy, he's more of a believable human.
Because you do say this is the last of the original group.
This is the end of the run that everybody talks about and cares about.
Because no one liked Little Nicky, which came out the next year.
I think people like that movie, but it's not thought of. I guess it's probably technically the last one, but this is, I would probably argue, I would make a guess that this was his most successful in the theater. They were all successful on video, but because this one had wide appeal, it was charming, it had a cute kid in it, there's growth for all characters.
Are you meaning out of those original ones or all time?
No, I would go from Billy Madison to Little Nicky. But I can see Little Nicky and Waterboy making a lot of money, even though they were more divisive. But this one has a wider appeal.
Because I was like, I think 50 First Dates or probably might be as...
Yeah, but that's also rom-com and has the Drew Barrymore.
I mean, I guess technically probably some of his later movies probably even...
Yeah, but that might be adjusted for inflation. Who knows?
Let's see here.
But I feel like Big Daddy was a hit to the point where, like, you know, like your mom could watch it. And moms don't like Adam Sandler. At least moms that had kids when Adam Sandler was making movies. There's plenty of moms out there now that like Adam Sandler, but that's because they grew up with it.
Let's see here. His top 15 would be number 1.
Bulletproof. Just kidding.
I mean, I guess technically they're putting the Hotel Transylvania series together.
Skip those.
And then Grown Ups made 271.
That doesn't even count because it's an ensemble.
And Grown Ups 2 made 246.
But that's a huge cast, so it doesn't count.
Pixels 244.
That's not a Sandler production film.
Click.
That's not. I'm talking Happy Madison.
Big Daddy 234.
Okay, I meant Happy Madison is what I meant. I guess I could have just said that. But then that also includes like Jack and Jill and stuff. But when I said canonical, it's like, yeah, a lot of people skipped out after Little Nicky.
Most of his highest grossing movies are all later ones. 50 First Dates did 198. See, yeah. I thought it had a chance of being...
And that might not even be a Happy Madison picture.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, I think almost everything that he's in is a Happy production. It's just...
He's not as in charge of it.
Yeah.
It's like, Wedding Singer is... and Happy Gilmore are like capital A Adam Sandler movies, whereas like Click is a movie with Adam Sandler in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Big Daddy, I imagine it still holds up. I saw it a bunch of times. I saw it in the theater. Saw it on television. It's always pretty funny. It's always charming. It's an easy, light watch. I imagine it holds up okay. And it's a pretty family-friendly from what I remember.
Actually, it's one of the few that I haven't rewatched in a while.
I mean, I haven't rewatched any of them in a long time.
I mean, I've rewatched Happy Gilmore and... Because I then watched Happy Gilmore 2,
yeah.
Which I thought was actually a fun film.
It has moments, but I
watched Billy Madison recently. I watched 50 First Dates recently.
Yeah, I've never seen 50 First Dates.
Yeah, you're not a rom-com guy.
It's not even that. It's just I was out on Sandler basically post Little Nicky. As a kid, I didn't even like The Waterboy. I think I might like it more now.
I'm the weird person that I loved Little Nicky when it came out.
I think I would like it more now, just like The Waterboy. But as a kid and a teenager, I was a hater, and I am less of a hater now.
We all know that Adam Sandler movies, other than his drama roles in recent years, most of those movies have not been good.
I've heard people liked Hubie Halloween, which I have not seen.
I haven't watched it. I mean, obviously I watched Happy Gilmore 2. It was fun. Like, it played the greatest hits while still having heart.
There's a couple things I liked about it.
I mean, I think that's the thing about Adam Sandler movies. The best ones are the ones that have some heart to them, and they're not just outright mean.
Yeah, and I love a mean movie, but when it's a comedy, sometimes it's a little more jarring and there's less to grab onto. But I love a movie where the main character is a scumbag, but that's not a comedy. Like, I like Raging Bull. I mean, obviously everybody likes... I know people that don't like Raging Bull because it's such a nasty, mean movie. But not
a big fan.
I thrive on scumbag films. So it's... But I need it to be more grounded in reality if it's going to be that scummy.
Yeah.
Granted, Adam Sandler's never made a movie that scummy. Uncut Gems, but that's
Uncut Gems is pretty scummy,
which I absolutely love. But I understand. I have a friend who's a diehard Adam Sandler fan.
That would probably be one of my least favorite Adam Sandler films.
I don't count it as an Adam Sandler film, but it's a great performance.
I'll give him that much.
But I love scumbag bullshit. I had a friend. He's my oldest friend. He is a diehard Adam Sandler fan. When we were in like middle school or whatever, he knew the script of Billy Madison, and sometimes in a car ride he would just start doing it, and we couldn't get him to shut up. But he'd watched it so many times that he just like knew the script like from the beginning, which is an insane thing.
I mean, Sandler, big physical media guy. Mm-hmm. I literally bought all of Sandler's movies on DVD until Jack and Jill. And Jack and Jill is such a steaming pile.
I've never seen it. I know Dunkachino.
Like, the contortionist from last week's show could have dumped Jack and Jill DVDs on Macho Man, and it would have gotten the same effect.
The only one I ever owned was Wedding Singer, and it's also probably my favorite.
I mean, Wedding Singer is probably the best of all of them.
Yeah, the Happy Madison production.
I think it might be his best movie of all.
I just have to cut a hard line between an Adam Sandler movie and a movie that Adam Sandler is in. So, like...
I mean, really haven't cared for any of it. Like, I didn't like Uncut Gems. Punch Drunk Love, I like.
But you don't love it.
It's very much I think I like it because it's not supposed to be a comedy, but because Adam Sandler's in it.
Well, it's a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be outright funny.
No.
But because Adam Sandler's in it, it has some quirks to it and makes it funny.
And also, what a good-looking movie.
Absolutely. But let's talk some King of the Ring.
All right, it's about time.
Let's get to this. We got to relive this war.
Yeah. I guess there's a war starting, but I don't think there's one relived here. There's one that's never stopped.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
WWF Attitude Package plays before a black and white video showing the nation's capital with narration from Thomas Dewey. We stand today on one of the strangest promontories of human history. When it smash cuts to highlights of Stone Cold Steve Austin with Vince talking about him, saying the only thing worse than him being champ is Stone Cold being CEO. Then we get footage of Jesse Jackson saying, at a time like this, you're forced to deal with your irreducible essence, forced to grapple with that which is really important to you. Followed by JFK's favorite quote, ask not what your company can do for you, ask what you can do for your company.
This is so silly.
As we continue to see more Austin highlights of terrorizing the McMahons with his new corporate power.
I mean, they asked for it, which is why it works.
Yep. We then get footage of Nixon saying, I'm not a crook. I burned everything I've got. Before transitioning to Vince challenging Stone Cold to a ladder match for ownership of the WWF. We go back to Jesse Jackson to say, for our leaders, the pain is often intense, but you must smile through your tears and keep moving with the faith. There is a brighter side somewhere. As Austin answers the challenge, with that the McMahon's asses belong to him. We get the King of the Ring logo, followed by Pyro as Jim Ross welcomes us to the show, joined by Jerry the King Lawler. And they talk about some late-breaking developments that just happened on Sunday Night Heat, where Shawn Michaels had ordered Ken Shamrock to face Vince McMahon, only for Shane to take his father's place in the match. JR then sends it to video of that interaction where Steve Blackman would be beating down Shamrock with a kendo stick, leaving Ken bleeding from the mouth, but not wanting any help from the EMTs.
He's Ken Shamrock. You know the deal.
They then send it to Michael Cole in the back to get more information, saying that Shane may be out of action tonight.
He didn't get beat up with a kendo stick.
No, but I'm sure Shamrock probably beat him up before Blackman came down.
Yeah,
which
cranked
is
on his ankle.
Technically the footage they should have shown.
I agree. I mean, a little bit of both isn't going to hurt.
Yeah. But we go straight to our first match. Hardcore Holly versus X-Pac in the King of the Ring quarterfinals. And Ross actually mentions that X-Pac had kind of gotten hurt the night before in a match. So he's dealing with some of his neck issues that he usually, that he's been injured before with.
Because he's small and he takes big bumps.
Yeah.
I remember hearing a story Sean Waltman told about how there was a spot that he did. I can't remember quite what it was, but I believed it involved him going out to the floor. But they would do it like every night on house shows, and he was so young and dumb and just doing drugs that he didn't think anything of it, that every time he did that spot, he would like go out for a second, like lose,
be knocked out.
Yeah, be knocked out, lose consciousness, and he just did it every night, and that was just like, he's like, oh yeah, that's just, I know that's gonna happen, and I'll get up and we'll keep the match going. But he was like,
and we all wonder why Sean Waltman seems a little fucked in his old age.
I will say that he seems like one of the guys that were debaucherous. He seems like the one that truly like feels bad for it and has like and is genuinely
trying to make amends.
Yeah, like a nice guy now.
Yeah.
So I do find him charming, even though he probably has a 7th grade reading level.
But the match gets going with Holly grabbing headlocks and shoulder blocks to start, until the kid hits a hip toss and a whip to a corner, only for Hardcore Holly to avoid a charge in, causing X-Pac to crotch himself on the ropes. Ooh. And Holly takes down the kid with a clothesline and sends him to a corner. But X-Pac leaps up and off with a crossbody for a 2 count. Hardcore Holly then ducks a clothesline to drop the kid with a powerbomb, followed by chokes on the ropes and a clothesline that X-Pac ducks and delivers a back suplex. The two men then trade strikes, which leads to a spinning heel kick and a series of kicks in the corner for the kid, leading to a Bronco Buster, which just pisses Holly off, who rolls out to grab a chair to knock X-Pac out for the DQ.
I mean, we never thought Holly was going to go over X-Pac, so at least he stayed to the conceit of his name. I got angry, I hit you with a chair. Who gives a shit? I was pissed.
Post-match, Hardcore Holly continues the punishment with a neck breaker and stomps when Road Dogg would run out to make the save, sending Holly bailing to the back. And JR then shows us the updated King of the Ring bracket before sending it to Terry Taylor, who catches up with Hardcore Holly.
Terry.
And Terry asks what that was all about, with Holly responding, "Who the hell are you?" So Taylor says he's Terry Taylor, only for Hardcore Holly to continue with, "Who cares?"
Goddamn, rough.
Followed by saying that's how the Big Shot plays, and he hasn't forgotten about the Big Show. But that takes us right to our second match. Big Show versus Kane in a King of the Ring quarterfinals matchup.
2 littler guys, 2 monsters.
And we then see footage from last week's Raw where Show had turned a car over outside the arena onto Holly. But Hardcore Holly moved in time.
The way that I remember,
so there wasn't vehicular manslaughter.
The way I remembered that was that he was in the car for some reason, but
no, he was like
he was on the edge.
He was
under the ledge.
Under the ledge.
Yeah. It makes more sense because if he was in the car, chances are he was going to get some kind of hurt. Yeah.
Maybe not white Hummer hurt.
No. That was a full on. I laughed out loud when that happened because I was like, oh, it just ruined that limo and probably the Hummer a little bit too.
And maybe Big Sexy a little bit.
Because he was totally in there.
So the two big men stand face to face to begin when the Big Red Machine starts slugging away. But his whip attempt is reversed, leading to Big Show hitting chops, a heel toss, and a corner splash. Only for Kane to avoid. Show shoves the Big Red Machine off as he goes for mounted punches, followed by a big boot, clothesline, and a leaping elbow drop that gets a 2 count. Big Show then telegraphs his move, allowing Kane to kick him away, goes for another one, but Show catches it, only for the Big Red Machine to counter into an enziguri.
Ooh. I love when Kane starts to move.
And both men go for big boots at the same time, knocking each other down momentarily, with Kane falling out of the ring. So Big Show drags his opponent back to the apron, where the Big Red Machine nails a hot shot on the ropes, before heading up top for a flying clothesline for a near fall. Kane with strikes and chokes, when Show escapes with a jawbreaker and a big boot. But the Big Red Machine ducks, causing the ref to take the shot.
Ref bump.
Kane then hits a low blow to take down Big Show, when Hardcore Holly runs down with a chair, only for the Big Red Machine to steal it away and deliver a chokeslam to Holly. And Show takes advantage of the distraction to attack, running his opponent into turnbuckles, but misses a clothesline, leading to Kane grabbing Big Show by the throat in a chokehold for at least a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it was a little bit... We all know where this is going at this point, so this was padding, I'd say.
The Big Red Machine then grabs the chair and whacks Big Show over the head, making the cover with the ref miraculously waking up at that moment for the pin and the win. I don't know if you saw the poster for this show, but Big Show was on it.
I don't know if I saw the poster. I typically write that in my notes what the poster looked like, so I probably didn't see it for this one. I know last week I didn't talk about it, but it was a horrific poster of just a hand squeezing a remote control for a television. Really piss poor stuff. Yeah. But yeah, that's funny. Kane's not going to take the pin, and Big Show, they need an out for him because he's newer to the company and he's large. So they could have just had them not wrestle, but this is a pay-per-view, so I don't know how much it's going to sell it, but it's the two monsters that aren't Undertaker in the company. So one of them's got to lose at a disadvantage, or we get another DQ or a DQ. Yeah, another DQ, which we can't have that. They know what they're doing over here to an extent.
We go to Michael Cole in the back, and he's with Vince McMahon, asking if Shane will be able to compete in the ladder match, with Mr. McMahon saying he's hurt and he can't compete. He needs to go to the hospital. He needs an x-ray. All while you can hear Shane in the background saying he can do it. But Vince says he's not gonna compete. And then we go to our third match. Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn.
I'm an ass man.
Versus Ken Shamrock in the King of the Ring quarterfinals matchup. And Gunn comes out wearing a tag team championship belt, which JR says is stolen from the Acolytes in a unique situation. And he throws it to a video package where we see X-Pac challenging the champs to put the belts up in a 6-man tag match, only for Mr. Ass to hit the Famouser on the Kid, on the belt, to win. So Gunn walks out with the title as well.
Just a little bit of past friendship bickering.
Yeah. And Mr. Ass takes the mic to say that Ken wants us to think he's hurt. But we all know the truth. You're running scared. So grab some balls and let's do this man-to-man. Or just show these people you are not as dumb as rocks and forfeit the match. And we cut to the back where Shamrock destroys the medics and heads to the ring, still with blood on his chin, with the ref telling him he's in no condition to fight. Only for Gunn to nail a running dropkick before the bell, followed by turnbuckle smashes, stomps, and chokes in a corner. A duck clothesline allows Ken to rally with strikes, but a crossbody attempt ends with Mr. Ass catching and dropping his opponent into a backbreaker for more work to the ribs.
Oof.
Ken turns a pin attempt into a leg lock, only for Gunn to hammer the chest to escape, taking him to the floor to drop Shamrock onto a barricade. Ken again counters into a leg lock, with Mr. Ass again nailing shots to the ribs to escape, before rolling his opponent in for a body slam and heads up top for a flying splash. But Shamrock avoids and bounces off the ropes with a pair of leg lariats. Ken then goes for a hurricanrana, only for Gunn to reverse it into a sit-out powerbomb, with the ref calling for the stoppage as Shamrock is bleeding even more from the mouth at this point.
Shamrock is the guy that never gives up, so Makes sense, but you can also pin Ken Shamrock.
Yeah. Post-match, Ken's not happy with Teddy Long, so he throws him.
Oh, that's why we did this.
Yeah.
Shamrock needs an excuse to attack everybody after the match.
We then go to Kevin Kelly in the back with Chyna and Triple H. And Kevin asks how it feels to be the first woman to compete in the King of the Ring, with her responding that she always wanted to be a princess when she was young, but now she's all grown up, so tonight she's gonna be a queen. Before telling Road Dogg he's got some big brass balls for stepping in the ring with her. Kelly then turns to Hunter to ask his thoughts on tonight's championship match, with Triple H answering that nobody tells him what to do, and nobody gives me orders to carry out. He marches to the beat of one drummer, and that's me.
Says the guy who was the leader of DX and now is just one of the guys in the corporate ministry. Are you telegraphing something, Hunter?
Yeah.
Or are these empty? Are these just empty thoughts?
I feel like they're empty thoughts.
Okay.
When we go to our fourth match, Road Dogg, Jesse James versus Chyna with Triple H in the King of the Ring quarterfinals matchup. And James does his shtick on the mic, followed by footage from Heat earlier in the evening where our competitors were discussing their match in the ring, when Chyna would slap Road Dogg and Hunter would attempt to hold him, only to be knocked down, allowing Chyna to hit a low blow to James. And as the match gets going, Chyna controls early on with a back elbow, forearms, kicks, and chokes, when she tosses Road Dogg hard into multiple corners. A reversed whip sends Chyna flare flipping to the outside, with James giving chase. But Triple H cuts him off, allowing Chyna to use the distraction to shove Road Dogg into the ring post.
Posted.
She rolls in while Hunter beats Dogg like an opponent, throwing and dropping him into the steps before returning James to the ring, where Chyna continues the punishment with strikes and a back elbow for a 2 count. Chyna with more stomps and a DDT for a near fall, followed by a pair of elbow drops and a shaky knee drop for a 2 count. So Chyna's shaky knee drop, better, worse? It was worse.
It was worse, but it is kind of crazy the confidence they have to put Chyna in a singles match with Road Dogg.
I mean, it's about this point when she starts looking around going, what do I do next?
Yeah. But Road Dogg is, all he knows is the structure of a match. Mm. Obviously, he's a better wrestler than I'll ever be, even if I tried.
Yeah.
But he is the least good wrestler in the company. I
don't want to think hard enough to...
Yeah, but he's a guy that he understands wrestling more than he's capable of doing it well.
He grew up it, so...
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like that Chyna, maybe not. I was going to say that she could get as good as Road Dogg at some point, but we kind of all know that she never does. But maybe if she didn't get into drugs and stuff, maybe he's all charisma.
A reversed whip sends Chyna to a corner, bouncing out where Road Dogg attempts to slam her, only for Chyna to wiggle out the back and apply a sleeper, until James rallies to counter into a sleeper of his own, taking his opponent down to the mat and leaving Triple H's only option to put her boot on the rope to break the hold.
What a good guy.
And Road Dogg starts arguing with Hunter, allowing Chyna to roll him up for the pin, and no, James kicks out, which also sends Chyna into the ref
bump.
And as Road Dogg goes to pick up his opponent, Hunter nails a chain-aided fist and pulls Chyna on top of James, with the ref waking to make a 2 count, while also bringing out Commissioner Shawn Michaels to glare at Triple H.
Bum, bum, bum.
And James ducks a clothesline inside the ring to deliver shake, rattle, and roll, a running straddle, and a shaky knee drop, which causes Hunter to jump to the apron. But the Heartbreak Kid pulls him off and throws him out, forcing Triple H to leave ringside. And Chyna uses the distraction to low blow Road Dogg, only for him to reveal that he was wearing a cup.
It's a metal cup, which I thought was extra funny.
Followed by a pump handle slam for the pin and the win.
Chyna, you're going to have to do a few more practices before we let you in.
JR then shows us the updated bracket for the evening before sending it to Michael Cole in the back with The Rock. And Cole asks if the People's Champ will once again become WWF Champ, with Rocky wondering if The Undertaker thinks he can impress The Rock by lighting a Brahma bull on fire, only to say that the Brahma bull has been on fire ever since he showed up, followed by mocking Taker speaking in tongues by doing his catchphrases.
Yeah. I was never a Rock guy as a kid, and rewatching it, I still understand why I wasn't a Rock guy. As somebody who understands wrestling more now, where I'm just like, it didn't hit for me then. It doesn't hit for me now. I know why it works, but I always just find it as like, oh, corny but not cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But we go to our fifth match, the Brood of Edge and Christian with Gangrel versus the Hardy Boys of Matt and Jeff Hardy with Michael Hayes to be the number one contender for the WWF Tag Team Championships.
Cool for the Hardy Boys. That's nice.
And Ross sends it to footage from Sunday Night Heat where these two teams had faced off against each other, but the Acolytes would interfere and beat down both teams, causing the match to be thrown out. So they decided to just try and redo it on the main show.
Yeah, I guess why not? Feels like it might be foreshadowing, but we will see.
And everybody starts brawling as soon as they're in the ring when Jeff is sent out by an Edge clothesline, while Christian takes Matt down with a dropkick, but Hardy is able to recover to tag out for some double teams. And Jeff whips Christian around until a reversed whip leads to a gutbuster by the Brood member and a double hip toss with his partner. And Edge sends Jeff to a corner, who leaps up into a head scissors to take down the Brood member, only for Edge to retaliate with an Alabama slam when Hardy tries it again. The Brood member goes for a second rope double axe handle, but Jeff gets his boot up, leading to poetry in motion and a clothesline to Edge. Matt then misses an elbow drop, allowing Christian to tag in, but he runs into a big boot and a backdrop suplex, only for the Brood member to float over on a slam attempt into a reverse layout DDT, making the crawl for the hot tag. Edge cleans house with clotheslines, right hands, a DDT to Matt, when Hayes jumps in the ring for a cheap shot to the Brood member, allowing Jeff to deliver a bridging suplex for a 2 count. Christian's thrown out of the ring, only for Edge to recover to spear both Matt and Michael Hayes, but Jeff attacks from behind to take down the Brood member. And the Hardys go for poetry in motion once again, only for Edge to spear Jeff out of mid-air for a near fall, as Matt makes the save, while Hayes and Gangrel are brawling on the outside. Christian low bridges the ropes when Matt charges at him, sending him crashing to the floor, followed by the Brood member diving out with a springboard plancha onto him. Edge shoves Jeff to the ropes, where the Vampire Warrior spits blood, but Hardy is ducked, causing the Brood member to get misted instead, followed by Jeff nailing a twist of fate for the pin and the win. Post-match, Edge isn't happy, with Gangrel explaining and apologizing to his teammate.
This was fun. It totally makes sense that Gangrel was not the tag team partner for these Hardy brothers. They're the guys that they're the first trampoline wrestlers to become successful.
Yeah.
Which has its pros and has its cons, but right here it is a pro.
Absolutely.
As this was good and fun and interesting and had some cool spots and great energy, and both teams had plenty to prove, and they're working boots on.
Michael Cole's in the back with the Undertaker, asking if he can withstand the charge of the Brahma Bull, with Taker answering with a question of his own. What happens when you rip the balls off of a bull?
He no longer has balls. He can't procreate. Maybe he loses some testosterone, so his body mass shrinks over time. but probably be okay.
McMahon then makes his way to the ring and takes a mic to have a chat, blaming Shawn Michaels for Shane's injuries. So therefore, the handicap ladder match is off.
Is it? Is it really?
And the Heartbreak Kid then makes his way out to say the match is happening, which McMahon then reminds that Shawn had said he could find a suitable replacement. So after tonight, he will be the 100% owner of the company. But we go to our sixth match, Mr. Ass, Billy Gunn, versus Kane in the King of the Ring semifinals. And after some early strikes from Gunn, the Big Red Machine retaliates with some of his own. Clotheslines and headbutts that send Mr. Ass rolling out to regroup. Only for Kane to give chase to continue the attack, slamming his opponent's head into the ring steps. The Big Red Machine then picks up the steps, but Gunn drop kicks them, causing Kane to fall backwards with the weapon onto his head, before Mr. Ass runs his opponent into the ring post several times.
Posted.
The fight's taken up the aisle momentarily, followed by returning to the ring to apply a reverse front facelock to keep the Big Red Machine grounded. When Gunn decides to run the ropes, with Kane catching him for a power slam, clotheslines, and a big boot that sends Mr. Ass to the apron, where the Big Red Machine nails a dropkick to send his opponent crashing out to the railing. Gunn grabs a chair while the Big Show walks down to the ring, stealing the weapon away to whack Kane over the head as he's trying to drag Mr. Ass back into the ring. And Gunn takes advantage to make the cover for the pin and the win. Post-match, the Big Red Machine makes it to his feet and stalks after show to the back.
So we'll see that on the next pay-per-view.
Maybe. Who knows? We go to Kevin Kelly, who's with X-Pac, mentioning it will be a battle of two very good friends. And the kid says there's always mixed feelings when you're in there with a friend. But this is an opportunity for both of us to reach the next level. So may the best man win. And I want to ask you right now.
Yep.
As you're watching this. Who did you think was going to win this next match?
On paper, you would assume Road Dogg would win because of the tag team partner business.
Yes.
But I assumed X-Pac would win because it feels like he's been getting more light and shine. Like, he's been pushed harder. He's more of an interesting worker. And if they really want to do Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, there's a potential better way to do it than burning it in a King of the Ring match.
But they've done it like the last couple months. And
yeah, that's true. I think they just realize it doesn't work. Sorry to telegraph what's about to happen, but I thought that the more interesting thing is the X-Pac win, as far as a wrestling match goes.
I mean, my only issue with it, basically, this is going to spoil the King of the Ring tournament, so sorry.
I mean, guys, you looked at the bracket. You saw what was there. There wasn't anything to get excited about in the first place. And after the first couple matches, it's painfully obvious. The last person that needs King of the Ring is Kane. The second last person that needs King of the Ring is the Big Show. No one else is going to get it.
I mean, I would have given it to the Big Show just to...
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad choice.
I mean, out of everybody that was in this tournament, personally, he's the guy that makes the most sense as your next main eventer.
Yeah, but they're trying out stuff.
Yeah.
And we know they've been pushing Billy Gunn.
On that same note, X-Pac's never going to be a main eventer. Like,
no. He'll be a beloved
Billy Gunn
versus mid-card.
Billy Gunn versus X-Pac or Billy Gunn versus Road Dogg. It's always going to be the same winner.
Yeah.
But at least if it's versus Road Dogg,
stakes are high.
You at least have that storyline that's there, and the match may mean just a little bit more.
Yeah, for sure. I just don't give a goddamn about the Road Dogg.
I mean, I know you don't.
But it, yeah.
And on the other hand, with X-Pac hurting from the night before, like, that was a legit thing. It wasn't a storyline thing. It was a legit thing, which is why all of his matches, he's in 3 matches? 3 matches, and they go like a total of 8 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's so hurt that he probably shouldn't be wrestling.
Which is why Kane did a 2-minute choke on the
exactly
mat.
But also, you literally could have just, in the middle of the show, gone, X-Pac doesn't have this, and switched who wins this next match.
Yeah, you could have.
And it wouldn't have changed anything other than you could have had a better, I'm air quoting, better match.
You're getting a more meaningful match.
Yeah. But we'll go on to the 7th match here.
Yep.
Even though we've kind of basically said,
hey, it's only going to last a couple minutes, guys.
That's right.
We'll just get through this one.
7th match, X-Pac versus Road Dogg, Jesse James, in a King of the Ring semifinal. And after the Kid makes his entrance, Road Dogg is with Kelly in the back to ask the same question. With James responding, this is going to be a hard win. But he wants to be the king, followed by doing his shtick again, only to cut it short once he's in the ring. And the two men have a feeling out process to start, when X-Pac takes Road Dogg down with a back suplex, a snapmare, and a flash leg drop for a 2 count. And the Kid applies the chinlock, with James escaping with strikes, shake, rattle, but the roll is ducked by X-Pac to deliver a roundhouse kick, which is ducked as well, leading to the roll being delivered before a shaky knee drop for a near fall. Road Dogg with chops and attempts a running straddle, only for the Kid to make it to his feet to land a spinning heel kick for a 2 count. James is taken down into a corner, allowing X-Pac to go for the Bronco Buster. But Road Dogg moves in time, setting up for the pump handle slam. But the Kid counters into the X Factor for the pin and the win. Post-match, the two competitors hug, and James raises X-Pac's arm out of respect.
No hard feelings, brother.
JR then sends us to a video package over our next match, where we see Undertaker choke slamming and tombstoning The Rock. So the Great One makes the challenge, with Vince accepting with one hitch. Rocky had to win a triple threat versus the Dead Man and Triple H, where Chyna would accidentally trip Taker. And Hunter would protect Chyna from a choke slam, leading to the People's Champ winning the match to gain the title shot, followed by the corporate ministry fighting amongst themselves, leading to everyone thinking they're on the divide. And this is why Hunter is like, I'm
on my own.
I'm on my own.
Yeah. The Rock is actually a man on his own, and he's on that babyface run. And it's one of those things, too, where it might be hindsight with what I know about wrestling and me watching this era as a kid, but everything just seems so very obvious now. So, yeah, I won't say what's going to happen, because I could have said it 3 weeks ago, but here we are, The Rock versus The Undertaker for the WWF Championship.
Which is our 8th match. And after the ref takes the belt from the Dead Man, Chioda gets decked from behind, before Taker hammers away on Rocky, only for the challenger to catch him with a rock bottom, which brings Hebner running down to the ring to make the count. The bearer pulls him out of the ring to deck him.
Undertaker working dirty.
Double ref bump in the first, minute of this match.
I know, I missed both of them. You can put them in post. I'm just kidding. Ref bump, ref bump.
Rock with strikes, only to get caught by a choke slam for the pin. And no, Rocky kicks out as the original ref is back up.
First 45 seconds, and they both hit their, signature move.
Yeah.
Not their finisher, but...
Undertaker telegraphs his move, allowing The Rock to kick him away and fire off with right hands and a clothesline to send the Dead Man to the floor, where the two competitors brawl down the aisle towards the tech area. And Taker sends Rocky into multiple guardrails before a clothesline and a suplex onto the concrete floor as they make their way back to ringside, followed by slamming the challenger's head into the steps. And Undertaker works the arm inside the squared circle, heading up top for old school. But The Rock causes the Dead Man to fall, crotcheting himself on the ropes, giving Rocky a chance to grab a drink of water, only to spit it in the face of Taker.
Who did it first, Triple H or The Rock?
The Rock. And the fight's then taken into the crowd, where The Rock throws a fan's beer onto his opponent before they make it back to ringside, with Rocky tossing Undertaker into the steel steps and the timekeeper's table. Rocky then grabs a chair to use, but the dead man blocks the shot by using the ring bell to knock the weapon back into the challenger's face.
Great spot when he knocks him into the timekeeper's table. Taker brings the bell with him, and then it's done so well that it's not completely telegraphed.
Yeah.
So it's surprising. The camera angle's great. He comes up, hits the chair that The Rock has with the time bell, and puts it, even harder back into The Rock's head. I really appreciated the creativity and the smoothness of it.
Paul then follows with a cheap shot with his shoe. Now back inside the ring, Taker delivers strikes when Rocky fires up, only to telegraph his move, leading to a running DDT by Undertaker for a 2 count. And a chin lock's put on to wear down The Rock, which he escapes but runs right into a big boot, allowing the dead man to just go back to the chin lock. And the crowd starts chanting for Rocky, firing up with strikes and a Samoan drop for a near fall, before both men hit clotheslines for the double KO.
Another great spot full of energy, because it is a running Samoa drop that looks pretty great. Impressive stuff from a guy who has double the charisma of the Road Dogg and double the in-ring instincts of the Road Dogg. And maybe that's all it takes to be one of the most popular wrestlers of all time.
Back to their feet, Rock's beating down Taker in a corner when the ref pulls him away, allowing Undertaker to retaliate with a punch to the gut and attempt a tombstone, only for Rocky to counter into a DDT for a 2 count. A reversed whip leads to The Rock being sent into the ref.
Ref bomb.
With Rocky bouncing out to slam down his opponent and connecting with the people's elbow. But Chyna is still down. And the dead man goes low to change the momentum, while Bearer douses a rag with some kind of liquid.
Ether. That's what you use to pass people out.
Which Taker looks to use, only for a pair of clotheslines to knock it out of his hand, leading to The Rock grabbing it to smother Undertaker and causing him to pass out.
Can a dead man pass out?
All of a sudden, Triple H runs down to nail a pedigree to Rocky, with the dead man waking up enough to crawl over to make the cover for the pin. And no, Rock kicks out. Taker then lifts his opponent to hit a tombstone piledriver for the pin and the win. And JR mentions that Hunter was in his wrestling trunks. Could he be the suitable replacement?
Could be.
When we go to the back to see police officers arresting Triple H due to the request of HBK. Vince charges in to protest as Hunter was going to be his tag team partner tonight.
Oh my gosh.
Which Sean responds with, "You think I didn't know that? Good luck." So McMahon starts making a phone call, telling someone to turn around and come back, as we see The Rock just strolling past in the background.
It is funny because the Rock thing obviously wasn't meant to be caught on camera.
Yeah.
He's just there. So it is typically they kind of move people around or out of the shot of the camera. But The Rock was probably just catching his breath or going over the match in his head, seeing how he felt about it.
Yep. But we go to our 9th match. X-Pac versus Mr. Ass Billy Gunn in the King of the Ring finals.
Last week we talked about the Rap is Crap song. The Ass Man song lives in my head the same way. The Rap and Crap lives in Rap is Crap lives in yours.
And Mr. Ass is interviewed by Michael Cole before heading to the ring, where he says that he's going after the kid's bag neck, that he doesn't care about anything but winning. And Gunn goes right after his opponent, stomping away on the neck, followed by a corner splash when he goes for a second one, only for X-Pac to avoid and hit a clothesline to send Mr. Ass to the floor. The kid then flies over the ropes with a plancha onto Gunn, rolling him back in and heads to the top for another crossbody that gets a 2 count. And X-Pac whips is reversed, leading to Mr. Ass nailing a running bulldog and a gorilla press slam for a near fall. Gunn grabs a face lock to wear his opponent down when the Kid escapes with elbows. But he runs into a power slam and a famouser for the pin. And no! X-Pac kicks out. Mr. Ass starts arguing with the ref, allowing the Kid to recover to deliver an X-Factor for a near fall, before a series of kicks that takes Gunn down in a corner for the Bronco Buster. Mr. Axe then ducks a clothesline and takes down X-Pac with a neck breaker, followed by heading up top, where the Kid drop kicks his legs out from under him, causing Gunn to crotch himself. Oof. And X-Pac climbs to fight atop the turnbuckle, only to be shoved off, leading to a second rope famouser for the pin and the win, making Billy Gunn your king of the ring.
Is Billy Gunn winning king of the ring less memorable than Mabel?
No.
I think people remember Mabel winning king of the ring more because it was stupid.
Well, yeah, I guess so. And then Mabel was like literally out of the company within a year.
And now he's back as a fat guy with a mohawk wearing a trash bag.
Yeah. We go to a video package over our main event. And we see Austin winning the championship at WrestleMania. Stephanie being threatened. So Vince cares more about her safety than the company. So Shane slaps his father. Mr. McMahon is then revealed as the higher power in all the villainous things that were done, such as the kidnapping and a satanic wedding. Stone Cold's then made CEO by Linda McMahon, having board meetings and dumping manure in Vince's office, followed by a ladder match being set for ownership of the WWF.
You would think that if your husband set up a plan to kidnap your daughter, you would just get a divorce or take him to court.
And take the company.
Take him to court and take the company. But no, we're going to give it to the hillbilly biker that does it his own way. His arch nemesis.
So we go to our 10th match. Vince McMahon and a mystery partner.
Who could it be now?
Versus Stone Cold Steve Austin in a ladder match for the ownership of the WWF.
Is it CEO or ownership?
They said ownership.
Yeah,
because he
most...
technically now has 50% of the voting power. And so this is for the full 100%.
I got you.
Vince...
Also, it's wrestling, and we're not the smartest fans.
For all I care, it could be the president of the WWF.
Yeah, it doesn't,
And then Eric Bischoff will walk out and do something.
It's just the guy in charge.
Vince comes out and takes the mic to introduce his suitable replacement for Shane, Steve Blackman.
I don't know if that's the suitable replacement. I mean, it's a better physical replacement for Shane, but it's not more interesting.
No.
And it's also not threatening because it's Steve Blackman who has accomplished what in the WWF?
Yeah.
Less than Ken Shamrock.
All of a sudden, GTV comes on the Titantron.
Ooh, salacious.
To show the younger McMahon hanging out with the Mean Street Posse in the back, revealing that he feels fine. When one of them realizes that they're on the screen live. So Shane scurries away, only for Heartbreak Kid to stop him and drag him out to the ring, as he's more than capable of competing tonight.
So the logic here is that McMahon thought he had a better chance of winning with Steve Blackman, so they feigned the injury of Shane.
Yes.
But
remember, it was supposed to be Hunter.
Exactly. But yeah, like it needs to be somebody that means more than Steve Blackman for this to kind of work, because it just kind of is confusing and dumb. Or I was like, just kind of shoulder shrugging all of it.
Shawn kicks Blackman and his G.I. Joe looking ass out before Stone Cold makes his way out, jumping the McMahons in the aisle and taking Vince inside to stomp a mud hole. Shane returns to attack from behind, but Austin cuts him off to deliver a Thez press and an elbow drop. And Stone Cold hits elbows across the throat of Vince on the apron, hot shots Shane on the top rope, before turnbuckle smashes and pulling the younger McMahon, balls first, into the ring post. Austin stalks after Vince when Shane would clothesline Stone Cold. allowing the McMahons to begin beating down their opponent. Mr. McMahon goes for the ladder, only for Austin to be back up to continue the punishment on Vince, running him into a screen at the entranceway, which is literally a canopy of ladders held up by other ladders.
Yeah, so think like a hallway of 6 ladders spaced by 3 feet, and then just 20 ladders hanging across them. And I'm like, I was looking for zip ties. They're like, how do they keep this all together?
I mean, I saw it and I went, that's crashing down at some point.
Yeah.
And Shane attacks from behind again, but then retreats to the top of the canopy.
I know, I was like, is this where Big Jump Shane begins?
And Stone Cold gives chase, knocking the younger McMahon off to the floor, followed by running him into the aforementioned screen as well.
I will say them on top of that is more nerve-wracking than anybody on top of a cage somehow, because they're just ladders. Like,
you step wrong.
They're not that wide. There's huge holes. Like, you could slip and fall and your body weight goes over and you just like crack your shin in half. Like, it just, it was yeah. It kind of reminded me of the scaffold, but even more even a different kind of dangerous, but more nerve-wracking.
Vince is back up, so Austin tosses him into several of the ladders that hold up the canopy, causing it to teeter.
Yeah, he's just pushing him in through one. It's pretty nasty because they are going like full force into these ladders, and they're just like falling twisted into these like ladders, and ladders are thin and sharp and full of holes.
But when it doesn't dump over, Stone Cold just pulls on a chain to finally get it to topple over on top of the big McMahons.
Yeah, I loved the setup of all of this, but then when there was the chain on the last one, I was like, I get it because it's hanging over so much that there's no way he could really safely...
Well, all the ladders that were holding up that one side are gone now. So...
Yeah, so the chain makes sense, but it would have been better if, like, I mean...
I'm sure it was supposed to fall, and the chain was
the chain would be, the chain made it obvious that it was set up, which we already knew, but I would have liked for him to, like, maybe if he had a belt on. I can't remember if he was wearing his jean shorts in this match or not.
No, he just had his normal wrestling gear.
Yeah, but like just something that wasn't already attached. Like if you just pull your belt off, wrap it around the bottom, and pull it back out, it would have been cooler.
Austin grabs a ladder and makes his way to the ring, with the McMahons working their way out from under the rumble, catching up with Stone Cold inside, with Shane being tossed over the ropes back to the floor. And Vince is knocked down by a ladder shot, followed by Austin sliding the weapon into Shane to send him crashing over the announce booth into JR's lap. Stone Cold then places the younger McMahon on the Spanish announce table, setting up the ladder to leap off with an elbow drop through the table, which ends up hurting Austin as well as he hits one of the monitors.
Yeah, I think it's his hip, and you can tell that it hurt.
Yep. Vince is now on the outside, and he climbs the ladder. Stone Cold climbs the other side to fight, knocking Mr. McMahon off, allowing Vince to then shove the apparatus over, sending Austin bouncing off the other announce booth.
Yeah, this one's rough because he bounces off it. It doesn't break. So he just kind of like bounces off of it, and then it looks like he either hits I think he might hit his head on like one of the steel chairs, and this is another moment where it's like, oh, that actually hurt. You can see it in his face.
Mr. McMahon takes the ladder into the ring and sets it up to climb, only for Stone Cold to make it back in time to low blow Vince, ramming his head into the steel and a suplex down to the mat.
Yeah, this was kind of a wild spot too, because Vince McMahon is like doubled over the top of the ladder by his waist, so he's hitting his head into one of the ladder rungs, and then he tries to like suplex him down, but that's not how physics work, so he just kind of tumbles to the mat, and it could have been really bad.
Shane has made it back inside, but Austin stomps a mud hole in him now, using the ladder to ram the younger McMahon before tossing Vince into the apparatus as well. Stone Cold sets the ladder against the ropes, followed by catapulting Shane into it, dropping it atop him and standing on it, causing the younger McMahon to tap out.
Yeah, I like the seesaw of it all here.
Austin stomps another mud hole in Vince and sets the ladder up to climb, when Vince turns it over, causing Stone Cold to fall off down to the mat. The McMahons then work together to try and lift themselves up to the briefcase, even putting Shane on his shoulders.
This is a little too comedic.
But they're still about 3 feet away from the prize. Austin hits a stunner to each man and climbs the ladder when the briefcase begins to raise up a few feet, with Ross hinting that it's the big boss man controlling the ropes. But I thought it might have been Ole Anderson.
I mean, I immediately thought of Ole Anderson when it started to move. I was like, okay, all right.
And Stone Cold goes outside to start arguing with the timekeeper, the announcer, and wanting to know who is screwing him over, when he notices Vince climbing the ladder. So he rushes back inside to fight atop the apparatus, even kicking Shane down as well, until the younger McMahon is able to shove the ladder over, sending everyone crashing to the mat. Shane resets the apparatus and climbs up to grab the briefcase for the win, leaving Austin pissed off in the ring as JR says his goodbyes and we fade to black. So I ask you, Michael, what are your overall thoughts of King of the Ring 1999?
Not the most interesting of efforts. I think that the King of the Ring it feels late 80s, it feels early 90s, it doesn't fit into 1999. And also, there's not really anybody in this bracket that I get excited about being the King of the Ring. I know that it's used to build people, but it's normally used to build people that we have excitement for. And after Mabel wins it, King of the Ring should have just died for a decade.
I mean, Stone Cold and Triple H both won it after Mabel.
True, but they didn't need it.
Austin doesn't have that moment.
True. Okay. Austin, I think, would have got there anyway, but that was his crowning moment. Maybe Austin, yeah. Good point. It definitely doesn't need to happen after Stone Cold Steve Austin, but it makes sense that they tried.
Yeah. I mean, the reasoning behind the tournament makes sense, but
we're just in a different place now. It's a different world.
Like, I like the way they do it now, which I always thought was a better thought. Instead of whoever wins the King of the Ring should get a title shot, instead of it just being a
bragging rights.
Yeah. Or, I mean,
I think it was.
I'll admit, Booker T, whenever he wins King of the Ring later in the future, and he becomes King Booker, that's a fun gimmick.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's because Booker T is a fun character.
I guess I'll say it this way: King of the Ring doesn't need to happen every year. You can pull it out, and people will be excited as long as you have it mapped out well.
It works better now because they give them a title shot if they win.
Yeah.
So you can give a guy that you're trying to build up a title shot.
King of the Ring would have been great when they brought Gunther up from NXT. That would have been a reasonable and fun way to present him to the wider audience. It would have also worked with Braun Breaker, but it's not always necessary.
Agreed. It's not always necessary.
Yeah, and here it feels pretty unnecessary.
So my thoughts: this show, it's not unwatchable.
Not at all.
But it's not watch-worthy.
I agree.
The entire booking of the tournament is weird because, like I said...
It's mostly DX.
I mean, X-Pac's injury, they should have changed to Road Dogg going to the finals. If they were dead set on Gunn winning, I still think they probably should have just had Big Show just squash 3 people and moved on with it just to show his dominance.
I'm not angry at it.
The championship match, Rock and Undertaker just do not have any chemistry.
No, it's just not. It does.
I mean, there was 3 ref bumps in the match.
It's just not very exciting stuff.
And the main event, and spoiler alert, literally ends up not meaning anything.
Yeah, about 10 to 15 minutes into next week's show, which we'll be covering, which is the Raw after this, we're doing some real backseat driving to conclusions.
Yeah.
That are laughable and slice of Swiss cheese with a hole that takes up 90% of it.
Yep.
Good. Where's the smart marks at? There. All right. Fuck you.
I think it's time we smark it up. So what are some of the best moments of this show?
I really enjoyed the Hardy Boys being excited and proving themselves, because they kind of feel like, outside of the Brood, they feel like the only people that were really going for it in any of the matches on this show. The main event, they were going for it, but different kind of match.
It's
and
still Vince and Shane, and they're very limited. And
yeah, and they don't have anything to prove. They're just great characters.
Yeah.
So, and I've said it a million times, but I like wrestling.
I know you're probably going to disagree with this thought completely.
I haven't thought about this show that much, so maybe I'll love it.
My favorite tournament match was Road Dogg versus Chyna.
Okay.
Which seems weird, but it's literally the only one that really ever actually gets any time at all, one. But two, I thought Chyna did well, at least, holding her own.
She's way better than we would have expected.
And, especially the spot where Chyna is down in the sleeper, and she's almost passed out, and all of a sudden Triple H grabs her boot. That's just that's a good heel spot.
Yeah.
And it, I just thought it was fun.
No, I'm a pro Chyna guy in general.
Obviously the Edge spear in midair,
great,
is foreshadows things we're going to see in the future.
It foreshadows all of modern wrestling.
Yeah.
That was the match that resembles the kind of wrestling that I like most.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was the highlight, and we've talked about it a lot, how much we love a one-night tournament, and this one
was very weak.
Yeah, there was nothing to get excited about. I wasn't excited that Billy won. I don't think I would have been excited if Paul White won. And nobody else was worthy.
I don't think there was anybody in this tournament that I would have been excited to see, because knowing that none of them, even if I didn't know, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Back in 1999, looking at everybody that was in this tournament, the only people that you even realistically go, they could be a main eventer, is the Big Show or is
Billy Gunn. And they bet on Billy Gunn because they knew that the Big Show
didn't need it.
If doesn't need it.
He's basically already there.
It might help, but he's already so much better than he was in the WCW, and he's so large that it doesn't matter, and we can just work on personality, aura, and in-ring stuff. Whereas Billy Gunn is jacked, and he has personality. He doesn't have Shawn Michaels' personality.
He probably has the least amount of personality out of all the DX guys.
I would say that him and Triple H basically are in the same place, because I've never found Triple H compelling in my life. And I think Billy
Triple H at least can wrestle a match. He's a better wrestler. So
yeah. I don't think Billy's that bad.
I don't think he's bad, but Triple H is much better at putting a match together.
Yeah. He's the more intelligent wrestler.
Yeah. How about most disappointing? Ref bumps, DQs, just all literally all these matches are so short because either X-Pac has an injury, so they need to keep his matches short. They're keeping Billy Gunn's matches short because they just want him to walk to the finals.
There's 10 matches and it's still...
Kane has a chokehold on the Big Show for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I literally was sitting there, I'm like, did someone miss a spot?
And we're just reconfiguring.
And we're just standing here waiting for that spot to happen. It was such a weird thing because it makes the Big Show not look competitive at all.
Yeah.
And then also Kane, like, Hardcore Holly comes down with the belt because him and Big Show have this issue, which if it makes more sense for Hardcore Holly to have hit the chair shot and caused the DQ than for Kane to stop Hardcore Holly from doing it, but then to still grab the chair and hit Big Show with the chair. It was just like, what?
Yeah.
Like, just let Hardcore Holly hit him and cause the disqualification. You still win, and you don't have, and you keep this Holly Big Show thing going, and not a Kane Big Show thing, because I literally don't think that's a thing that happens.
I don't think so. It's not good for either of them, so it shouldn't happen.
Because I mean, they're both faces at this point,
and they're two big guys. Like, that's not the most compelling. Two guys that big is never as good as you want it to be. I think that it's funny that The Rock and Undertaker don't have the juice together.
Yeah.
I also think that it's painfully obvious that Undertaker, as a heel, holding the belt, is a placeholder for The Rock and Stone Cold to have a match in the future. So I knew that The Rock was not going to be the champion that Stone Cold takes the belt off of. It makes no sense. Stone Cold would be the one to do the favor for The Rock.
Yeah.
Like, that's just obvious wrestling logic. I appreciate the chase aspect of what they're doing with The Rock, and that Undertaker is one of the opponents in between there. It's just a shame that they ain't got the same blood type.
How about best performer of the night? I'm going to go kind of off the wall, but I think Shawn Michaels did more to help the storyline along than anything else that was done on this show.
I can see that. I just don't know where Shawn is in this company. He shows up sometimes and he's important, and sometimes he's not around.
Well, so fun fact.
Yeah.
I just remembered this. The Spurs were in the NBA Finals at the same time, and he had tickets to Game 6, which was going to happen the same night as this show. But luckily the Spurs won in Game 5, and Shawn had basically already told Vince he wasn't showing up if they went to Game 6. So think of how much different this, because Shawn is a major part of the storytelling to get to the main event.
Yeah. Who would have been in that place?
Who would have been in that place?
You can't put anybody in that place.
Exactly.
You could put Sergeant Slaughter there, but it wouldn't mean as much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because, I mean, if Shawn's not there, he doesn't kick Triple H out of the one match, get him arrested, pull Shane out from the back and drag him to the... Who's doing all that?
It also all means more when Shawn has a tie to Triple H.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that's my pick for best performer of the night.
I'm gonna give it to Edge for the spear that.
I mean, that's
creates
creates
modern wrestling.
Yeah. And
I say that with heavy air quotes, but you know.
And most surprising, I think even without the injury, you would think that the natural progression would be Gunn versus Road Dogg in the final. To me, that makes the most sense.
Especially with where we're about to go.
And then to just not do that, even when you could have used X-Pac's injury as a reason to do it anyway, it was just kind of surprising to me.
Yeah. Chances are that they planned on X-Pac doing it, and he wanted it thinking it was a spotlight. And Road Dogg, you know. I
mean, I think if X-Pac is healthy, him and Gunn could have put on a fun final match. Much better than what Road Dogg...
that's the match I would prefer to watch. But if he's injured, maybe we talked about it, are they going to put together... Is it worth it to change it last minute for them to have a match that's just a little bit more interesting than X-Pac and him? Because if they're gonna have a match against each other, you kind of want it to, for the King of the Ring, you kind of want it to be really good.
Yeah.
And maybe they just don't have the time, and they're not innately like ring generals. So I don't know.
For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Turn the lights down, turn the projector on, because we're ready to rumble. This week, the film we're covering is Thank Your Lucky Stars. Released September 25th, 1943 by Warner Brothers. It was directed by David Butler and written by Norman Panama, who's a 3-time Oscar nominee, Melvin Frank, a 5-time Oscar nominee, and James V. Kern. It would star Eddie Cantor, Joan Leslie, Dennis Morgan, and Dinah Shore. And the plot of this one is 2 producers are putting together a wartime charity show with an all-star cast. But the egotism of radio personality Eddie Cantor disrupts their plans. Some trivia for this one: it was nominated for Best Music, Original Song, for the song They're Either Too Young or Too Old. Humphrey Bogart, Bette Davis, Errol Flynn, and Olivia de Havilland were some of the all-star cast. And all of the stars were paid $50,000 for their appearance in this film, which was then donated to the Hollywood Canteen, a club for servicemen and women in Hollywood, which was founded by Bette Davis and John Garfield. Ticket sales were also donated by the studios, so over $2 million were raised for the club.
I've heard of this movie just for its historical reasons, not because of the movie, but for your trivia section.
And this was also Dinah Shore's film debut. Some reviews and ratings of this one. IMDb gave it a 6.8. Letterboxd has it at a 3.3. And I found the Bosley Crowther review from the New York Times in 1943. Mr. Cantor plays Eddie Cantor with a masochistic spite. His character is disagreeable that it almost ruins the film. It does seem that Warner Brothers could have thought up of a better device for getting their stars before the camera. And it might have worked in a little more dance and a little more femininity. And my review of this is the cavalcade of stars is the most accurate description, as you just have to wait 5 minutes for another Hollywood legend to appear. Like most of these variety show style films, your enjoyment will depend on how much you like the style of music and dance numbers presented. Some are good, some are interesting, but none fall into the you have to skip this part.
Yeah, they're all serviceable.
The main plot with Eddie Cantor has its moments, especially when he's playing Joe, being angry about people thinking that he's Eddie.
It's a fun bit.
And the wrestler of this film is Mike Mazurki.
Ooh.
This is our 13th time seeing him, and he's playing Olaf, who's Eddie's muscle. And anytime someone does something Cantor doesn't like, he has Olaf take care of it.
So it was just a fundraiser where we can put all these names on the poster and people will show up and we don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
So they didn't put up enough energy
into a book-in device to.
It's just it just exists for a singular purpose.
Have you ever watched a telethon and people get up there and do numbers? Mm-hmm. That's basically what this movie is, except there's not a phone number to call.
Yeah, George Bush doesn't care about black people. One of the greatest television moments of the what is it, 21st century? I guess I love it so much.
But I give this film a 3.0. It's fine. Like, it's not going to knock your socks off.
Did any of the songs were any of them earworms for you?
Not really. I mean, the one that got nominated, They're Either Too Young or Too Old, it's a fun number.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun to see some of the old stars of the 40s on the screen all in one place. But, like I said,
it's a gimmick that serves its purpose.
Yeah. And Mike Mazurki did a great job with being the muscle in the few scenes that he's in. So I gave him a 3.0 as well.
Sounds like he had a little bit more to do. Is he's like basically, I assume, just dragging people off screen whenever Cantor gets Eddie Cantor gets annoyed.
So if you want to find this film, it is on YouTube, so it's very readily available if it sounds interesting to you. Next week, WWF Monday Night Raw from June 28th. It's the next night.
Yep.
We see the
same state,
Charlotte, North Carolina, like just down the road, a couple miles. But yeah, we'll see the fallout from all that happened tonight.
Yeah, sometimes the Raw is more interesting than the pay-per-view as far as storyline goes.
Sometimes it is.
So we'll see if they can make this a little bit more interesting, as we were kind of lukewarm on all of this.
Music from this week's show is Luna Bass by Ian and Andrew Herron. And the McMahons won our main event, so we play No Chance in Hell by Jim Johnston.
Honestly, I feel like we should play Ass Man because they play it like 7 times in the show.
And if you like this episode or any of our other ones, please go out there and rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you find your podcasts at. Do as Michael says.
5 stars or no stars. Was this your favorite King of the Ring? Are you an insane person?
Should they have continued King of the Rings?
I think it's a case-by-case basis.
And if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, you can always email us at WrestlingHistoryX@gmail.com or find us on X at WrestlingHistoX. That's Wrestling HISTOX. We'll talk to you next week.
Laters.